Do you remember the Stripey Hoover Junior 1334 that I got sent to refurbish for somebody who wants to use it as a daily? Well, he's done, folks. He looks so much better for just a wash, a polish, and sadly a couple of new motor parts which were very much needed. I shall explain as we go. Let's have a look at how this, well, it's not a poor little thing anymore, it's a rip-roaring, mechanically perfect monster, came out. Yes, hello, my vacuum cleaner chums. How are you today? Yes, I got this thing done finally, and it came out pretty well, and I haven't replaced everything. I'm going to take you through pretty much exactly what we've done. I kept this cable. I did and ah about it. I've got a few white flexes, but it's a really nice rubbery cable. It's a decent length, and bar it being a little bit twisted, it's still fine, really. The Ashley plug, however, got a full scrub, a full pin polish, and looks brand new, pretty much, bar a little bit of wear on that screw. It's really good, and I found a nice cord clamp because that stops the plug from banging on there and destroying the paint, which is what happened up here. There were all of those Hoover dealer stickers on there. I would have tried to keep them if they survived. I got them wet and they fell off and took all the flipping paint with them. So it's got a bit of electrical tape, white electrical tape, wrapped around it just to take the eye off the fact that there's pretty much no paint on that entire top corner, which is a shame, and I didn't have a better top handle to just swap the grip on and get on with it. So that is a bit of a shame. The bag, I mean the top of the bag, we'll go down to the bottom in a minute, the bag washed up really, really well. The only thing it now needs is just a little smidge of repair in this corner, just, you know, just to close the little hole up that's in there, and it'll be good to go. It is green. It's not a muddy brown or a dirty black. It's a green and white mottled effect with the Junior cleaner on the side. It's pretty cool, actually. We'll have a look inside of it. Yeah, it's really spotlessly clean and has, I mean, it's a Miele U bag because they're a little bit cheaper to buy pattern ones off than Seabo, but a cut-off HEPA flow inserted bag nonetheless. And in there, I don't really care about the HEPA filtration of it. It's not really going to matter on a machine like this. What it does do is, well, increase the airflow a lot and stops the bag from just getting completely filthy. I glued up the original, because obviously this was a nice rose pink machine, the original cable gland. I found a replacement for the bottom. I left the cable grip there because it's fine, it does the job, and yeah, we're about ready to move on to the bottom. The handle bail is in excellent condition on this machine. This is pretty much how you test it. If it was bad, it would just flop down like that, but no, this one is good. Let's have a look a bit closer at the bottom. It's polished up perfectly. All this has been is washed and sifted and buffed off, and now it's a bit dusty from being stored. Nothing else, and yeah, there was very little wear to it. All of this on the front was just dirt, and if we take off the front plate, it cleaned up very nicely as well. I took the Hoover roundel off of this, and it obviously been wiped down over the years because underneath it was a perfect circle of pure filth, just how we like it. The belt that it came with, or the one that we put on it when we did it, I can't actually remember now. Did we change the belt or not? Let me know down below. But oh, turned it on. But whatever, the belt that is on it is really nice indeed. Underneath is also spotless. If you remember, this thing was filthy, but now, oh, if we take off, and sadly this screw's not the original, but this one is, the bottom wiring cover, ta-da, not a speck of dirt on it, not even a suppressor to be seen at the minute, because I've still not worked out a decent retrofit for them. So that is a nicely wired, spotless Hoover Junior. The brush roll, I didn't repaint it. The brush strips were absolutely fabulous. It's just been left alone. And I think this bottom end is really original. Certainly the outer bit is, because I had to change something inside the motor. As you know, it had some terrible sound, which I actually thought at the end of the video was, and it partly was, the fan was loose. There was so much hair around the fan spindle that it had just made the fan and the spindle a bit loose, and it was slipping. It was quite bad, but it wasn't the main problem. The main problem was the armature, which is here. This is the original armature from this machine. I swapped a known good one in, and it ran slow, so I then swapped the coil from the parts motor I was hunkering for spares, and so this has a different coil and armature in it. Everything else, and different carbon brushes, because they were trashed, and that's fine. Yeah, this is the original armature, and look at the wear on that. I mean, it probably would have been okay. The problem is it's had two smaller carbon brushes fitted, so it's worn itself in rather than sit on the outside. But that wasn't the main problem. The main problem was actually this rear bearing. As you can see, it's been very, very hot, and it's very, very worn as well. But this is a different sized end to an original armature, and I think it's been re-sleeved. Can you see that there's an inner and an outer, and I think that they turned that inner down to the point where they can push a sleeve on, put an oversized pattern rear bearing on, and it was obviously crap because it's just got so hot. I mean, this is blue with heat, and it's so worn and broken that it obviously didn't work. So A for effort. I mean, it's definitely a genuine armature because it's got a nice metal cooling fan on it, but sadly it is no good at all and didn't last the test of time. Whoever got that done in the 70s and 80s, you wasted your money, mate. You should go back and complain. But all is good now, all is working well. Let us put power to it and show you how it sounds. Hopefully this nice flat mat will show off the beat as it sweeps, as it cleans action, and this thing should now have, it's not going to whine as it screams, as it burns out, no. And a really smooth wind down as well. Yeah, the armature had done all the damage, everything else was fine, ready to show somebody what it was made of. And yeah, as well as being alright on that Sebo rug, it likes this rug as well. And it's actually quite nice because as much as I and obviously you appreciate mint, genuine, complete condition juniors, these ones that have been through hell and back, and you know, we've now given it probably its third life, maybe even its fourth. It's got nice story to tell. I would rather use a machine like this every day than go and get, you know, my Mint 1334 down from the loft, say, or, you know, spend a lot of money on a cleaner one. I think these are more likely what people are going to see. You could have picked this up from the car boot for a tenner, and I mean, obviously you'd have been screwed because you needed an armature, but you don't normally need that, and normally I was half expecting to get this thing like this just from being cleaned. It is possible, we've done it before. This one just needed a little bit more help thanks to a previous bodge repair. So this one's done and can go home to its owner. I'm actually quite excited to see what she thinks. And then we're going to have a second Hoover Junior to play with from the same person. This one was the worst one apparently. So hopefully the next one we get will just be a clean it and put it back together again. But you never know with these, with mechanical parts. Anything could happen. So yeah, there we go. Have you ever seen that armature issue before? Do let me know down below. I think it was probably once quite common. They either just, the machine didn't last long enough for the thing to wear out, or it wore out, and by that point, you know, they just went out and bought a Dyson and chucked it in the skip. It's quite tragic to think how many of these would have been thrown away for want of a simple replacement part. Hey ho, such is life. So until the next Hoover Junior from the same person, but not this one, we'll see you soon. Bye bye.